welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Kina yo two na one na one two na two na two. Alola kina yo. By Zambia, I have a very serious discussion today. Very serious issue. Okay, so I am concerned because a series of events have unfolded, and the way they have unfolded, I definitely believe it's not fair. It's not right. And it requires to be addressed. Okay? It requires to be addressed. I, Namzi Mercy, as a proud Zambian, I am giving the President Hakainde Hichilema, a red card for how he has responded or reacted to what happened to him in Chiwempala, okay? In Chiwempala, on the copper belt in Chingola, okay? Quite all right. Sadly, the president was actually stoned at, yeah? People stoned at him. It's sad. But I just want to qualify him coming to blame us, the opposition, for what happened. We are not to blame as the opposition. What happened in Chiwempala is between the president and the people of Chingola and those that benefit from Senseli mine. That's what is there. They have been saying Bali Belt, right? You've been saying, no, it's Bali Belt. You've been saying that's your bedroom as the UPND. Manje ifotangenamo bunch by opposition. Naliti, have we stoned you? Nalit. That the whole president should go and blame us, the opposition. And he's the one who has led this onslaught of inciting of violence towards the opposition. And inciting of violence in the nation. And I will qualify it. In my opinion, this is how things have unfolded. President Hakainde Hichilema, whilst campaigning as an opposition president, decided to tell the people of Chingola, in my opinion, that he himself would make, if once elected into government, he will make sure they benefit from the minerals that are found there in Chingola. They would benefit from the mine that is found there in Chingola. This is the promise I believe he made to those people. And that's why, if you notice, there's a time where even PF was chased out of Ndola. It was your bedroom. Because you had promised to them that you would make sure they benefit from their resources, their mines, their minerals. On your own, the people believed you. After you promised them, they believed you, and they became serious supporters of the UPND. You won and became president, and you went with your policies to the people of Chingola, Chiwempala, and you ended up removing them from Senseli mines. That's where the whole problem starts. They felt cheated. They felt lied to. They felt betrayed. They felt you had underperformed. Mr. President, do you remember that word, underperformed? Whilst giving an interview on your own accord, Mr. President, you told the Zambians that they were booing, in my opinion. They were booing ECO and it was okay. Because you're saying ECO must understand when he has underperformed, the people will boo him. And you were telling ECO that get ready for more booing. And you even mentioned that Kenneth Kaunda was a gentleman. Because when the people had booed him at the stadium and pelted him with oranges and banana peels, he did not react. You said Kaunda was a gentleman. But you, after the people you promised that they would benefit from their minerals and their mines, you went back at your words, and you ended up getting Senseli away from them, and they're upset. You have, or should I say, are you behaving like a gentleman? You came After the incident, I can imagine it was extremely traumatizing for you, Mr. President. I can't lie that it was a pleasant experience for you. It was not. You are number one in the country and people had the audacity to throw stones at you. But what I see as a problem, Mr. President, why I'm saying you are the problem is that you have not even still understood that you, Mr. President, are the problem in this whole equation. And now you have created a bigger problem because now you are saying it's us, the opposition, who incited that. But it's your lie to the people that incited them to do what they did. Your own people have issued statements like we can say Simon Moyalane. He said he was saying Chingola. The people did not even want to hear about the donation to the market or the challenge of the market burning down. The people were only saying, we want to hear about Senseli. One, we even hear the audio clip of a district leader there. I don't know if he's a youth leader. He said that na besa. Bala milandi la popali issue makwata. Mwala yumfila. Then the minister stands up and says, you know us. We don't believe in illegal mining. Mama, because the people thought you're coming there so that you can open up their mind. As you had promised them in opposition that they would benefit from it. And then you said, no, you will not support illegal mining. And that's where the whole madness started. Because the people became incensed and upset. And they have the more reason to even do these extreme things of stoning you because the betrayal in their heart is what made them do the unthinkable. And that is stone a sitting president. They're upset. Now, instead of understanding the context within the betrayal of the residents or the people that were benefiting from Chiwempala, from Kesensele, to understand that they're upset with you, you have turned it around. You're gaslighting. You can't accept blame, can you? So you're trying to turn it around and you're trying to gaslight them and say, no, it's the opposition inciting you. What do we have to do with it? And your words were exactly like you said in that other press statement. I heard you saying, whether it was at a rally or whatever, you were saying that I protected you from the UPND cadres. They would have dealt with you. Maybe dealt with you is also a word you use, a different word, which I feel was not right for you as president. And so you protected us from what, Mr. President? I was beaten by UPND cadres in Kawambwa. That was not you protecting me. Big Joe was abducted by UPND cadres. You did not protect him. Many PF cadres were beaten and clobbered after you won in 2021 as the UPND. So I don't know whom you protected. So now it's like you're saying the way we've heard it. Because you see, when you say something, people interpret it. And I don't know if that was your intention. But Mr. President, you have indirectly authorized the uprising of the UPND cadres in escalating, or should I say scaling up their violence towards the opposition. And so we have seen a number of press briefings from UPND cadres saying what they want to say, threatening and inciting violence in their cadres towards us. I heard one young man say, senior leaders, stop saying you're on your own, meaning you must start supporting them when they do something wrong. There should be no one to be accountable, but they should be protected and defended when they commit crimes. Now, to top it off, another God-given husband, just like you, Mr. President, in your honorable member of parliament for Wengwa, Badala ba Kasautu, I want to find out, if I call you an unfit leader, you shouldn't get upset. Because I'm calling you an unfit leader. You are not worth the honor of being called a member of parliament. You're not. How can you, a whole member of parliament, go and say you are now reopening cadarism? And what we know is you mean hooligan cadarism. Okay? Because cadarism is about following a party that you belong to, and all of us are cadres, so we are all being we are practicing cadarism. But that type you were mentioning and opening for all districts, you were opening that they should now be free for all hooligan cadarism. And what comes with hooligan cadarism? Beating people, harming people, maybe even killing people. And you are seemingly saying it's okay for that to happen. Mr. President, here is your MP unleashing cadres on other cadres who are belonging to the opposition, I presume. Honorable MP, you're not honorable. And before I can even blame you for your lack of leadership, I want to blame the people that voted for you. You see, this is the problem we have as Zambians. We like voting for people who show us signs that they are not good leaders, and we still vote for them. So as we are singing new next year, even our minds should be new, so that we only vote for people who are worth the sort of being leaders. In our personal lives, we may make mistakes, but I can assure you, as a president, as a member of parliament, as a permanent secretary, as a district commissioner, you can't make silly mistakes. You must be extremely deliberate in all that you do. You must be extremely deliberate. And I'm concerned that we, the people, we keep voting for people not worthy of the sort of being called members of parliament and of being called presidents. Before you accuse me and say, no, you tolerated hooliganism in the PF, I never did. And even today, I can stand proud of myself to mention that even right now in the PF, there is one presidential candidate I've said, looking at the judgment litmus test of integrity, ability to follow procedures, to have discipline, and to be a good follower. One of the presidential candidates has failed to reach that mark, has failed to meet that mark. And I've made it very clear, this one, I'll never support that candidate. This one, if we vote for this one to be president of PF, I will not be able to stay. Made it very clear. We are bringing back sound politics. That's my desire. I wouldn't risk my life almost being killed in Kawambwa to play double standards. No. If it's bad for the UPN, it's bad in the PF. And I've made it clear there. Some people were happy to hear me bashing the president, bashing members of parliament from the UPN. When I come and say, this, what you have done is indiscipline, this, what you have done is insubordination, therefore you are not fit to be a presidential candidate, they rise up and have a problem with me. But I sleep soundly at night because I would rather stand for truth. I would rather stand for what is right. Because it's when we see indiscipline, we see insubordination, and we still make that person a president, then tomorrow I got to shoot as a country. What's wrong with us? Is that normal? Is that normal? Right? Is that normal? To keep repeating the same mistakes. Because when we elect wrong members of parliament, then you have my God-given husband, Honorable Kasutu. Behind, you're behind. I'll get you to catch up. Okay? We're talking about Chiwempala. And how in the happenings in Chiwempala, Augustine, the president is blaming us, the opposition, for something that he himself went and lied to the people of Chiwempala, that when I become president, these mines, you'll be benefiting yourselves. And then he turned around and said, I don't tolerate illegal mining. So they're upset. And when they went to Chiwempala market, they did not even go there for the market. They wanted to hear about Sensele. And so when they discovered that the president and his minister had nothing to do, had no business of coming back to actually reopen the mine for them and allow them to operate, they became irate and they did what they did, which was really unfortunate. They stoned a sitting president. It's unfortunate. Now, the presence of taking responsibility that I have failed my people. Like he said, when you underperform, in his own words, when you underperform, the people will respond and react and they'll boo you. And in this case, he even gave an example. President Kaunda was actually thrown at with lemons and oranges and bananas. So now the people of Chuempala have shown President Hakainde Hichilema that they're not happy with him. But he's blaming us, the opposition. And suddenly he issues a statement and says, I protected you from my cadres, but it's now looking like there's something you're looking for. What did he mean? We have seen the result of what he meant. Cadres of the UPN from all corners of the country having press briefings, threatening our lives. And saying the police they'll be the ones to protect the president. That's an asset to the country. In as much as I believe he's a failure of a president, he's still apparently our asset. And it is the Zambia police and an official security wings that are supposed to protect him. Okay? But what I have a bigger problem is that even an honorable member of parliament can come and say, we have opened up cadarism. And what he means, we all know, is hooligan cadarism. Of violence. And I'm saying, before I can even call him an unfit leader, that Kasautu is not a fit leader. He should never have been a member of parliament. The same way I say President Hakainde Hichilema should never have been a president. I'm qualifying myself that I'm very consistent on that level. Because even in the PF, there is one presidential, as I said, this one is unfit. He did not do what was right and failed the litmus test of etiquette of a leader, and I will never support him for this level of presidency. And if you elect him, I will not be here. I have said it. So as I castigate Bakasautu here, Bokasautu, I'm castigating you here. I have every right to, because I'm consistent. But Dala, you are not a leader. What are you trying to prove or to push? You are calling all the cadres for the UPND in every corner to begin to practice hooligan cadarism. The question I should be asking you is that, are you sure when your cadres rise up to beat us, we'll all just be watching? What type of a country are you provoking or inciting? In fact, you should have even been summoned by the police by now. If we were in a fair country. Binwa Mpundu just said, Bane, we must defend ourselves. He's there appearing in court. Badala, you have incited violence to the highest level. In fact, the president was the first one to incite violence because he said, I protected you, but now you're doing delegation. What does that mean to us? Oh, now I'm removing the protection. Isn't that what you said, sir? Because you see, when you say something as a president, that's why you should be able to think what I'm saying. What will the people deduce and understand? Inciting. So at UPND cadres now say, but actually about protection, but it's about dealing. It's about dealing. You are saying HH is gone. He may be gone, but the fact is, he's still president until next year. And a lot can happen in between here. And what Bakasautu has done as a member of parliament of officially opening up cadarism, which we know is hooligan cadarism, is dangerous for the nation. There is no way we can be busy uniting. Others are busy planning to begin to beat up people. Tomorrow we'll have a flared up situation because what the UPND are forgetting is whilst the PF were, the small group of PF members, like I have said, I've come to know, it's a very few, very vocal hooligan PF members that were causing so much havoc, right? Because they're always too loud and they kind of reduce the voice of the normal ones or the law abiding ones. Okay. So what is happening is that you will have a situation whereby they will begin to attack people and people will retaliate. And before we know it, there will be violence. Because like I was saying, what the UPND forget is the UPND had to teach Zambians to not like the PF whilst it was in government. Whilst the PF were in government. The UPND had to teach Zambians to not like the PF. They had to do certain setups to show the people and say, look what they're doing. Even though they were the ones setting. So they had to teach Zambians to have anger towards the PF. But in this current season and situation where we are, the UPND, people hate you by your own doing. People hate you by your own doing. And I'm sorry to use the word hate, but that's the true word. This load shedding you are carrying out, people hate you. People's businesses have closed. People's livelihoods have been lost. People have died because of the load shedding. People are upset. Okay? People are upset with you by UPND. So for you to start saying, no, we'll start beating up PF cadres or CF cadres or Socialist Party cadres, let me tell you, these people you think are docile. The ones who stoned you, and you don't even believe that they're the ones who stoned you, they will end up beating your cadres. I can assure you. The season we are in, the environment that is here, people don't like you by UPND. Not because we, the opposition, have told them or taught them to not like you, but your own doings, like you did with the Cersei mine, angered those young people going to those mines. Like you have done with your load shedding, that like you have done with your unfulfilled promise of 50 kwacha millimil, like you have done with your unfulfilled promise of low fuels. Okay, like you have done with your unfulfilled promise of a cheaper exchange rate, like you have done with your unfulfilled promise of fertilizer, of how FISIP will be run. People hate you by UPND, Mr. President. So you can't start as a UPND government, or should I say UPND ruling party, begin to issue careless statements like Kasautu did. Badala, you're not a leader. You even go and film yourself telling people to start being violent. And you, by Inspector General of Police, you're even quiet. If those words were spoken by a PF leader, they would be in cells before the day can even go down. But you're not doing anything. Are you condoning his actions? Because he's inciting violence. Honorable Kasautu has incited violence against citizens you sought to protect. And I'm saying the environment we are in right now is such that the people are upset with you by UPND. Your cadres are too few to be sent to attack people. You are going to get your cadres in trouble. But my greatest concern is that you are setting up our country for anarchy. Because which opposition members will just sit to wait for the UPND to be beating them? Okay? Which opposition member? Because me, I'm a woman, and I can guarantee you, those UPND cadres who beat me up in Kawambo, even though I know some of them, I have never retaliated at any level. I used Christianity of forgive and forget. This time around, if your cadres touch me, I'll identify a few of them, and I'll tell you they'll pay. Because you can't. Is this not our country? Have I stopped being a citizen of the Republic of Zambia? Binwa Mpundu said we must begin to defend ourselves. He is going to court. Munia Zulu said no, they're going to dissolve parliament. You saw that as a threat to violence and anarchy in the country. He is in prison. So you want us to keep quiet? You want us to keep quiet. How can we keep quiet? Chansa Joka Pema, I understand you. You are a praise singer. You have to say something. Badala. I don't know if you're Badala or Mudala because you're Bemba. You're both, either Tonga or Bemba, you're still going to be my tribal cousin. I'm telling you, your president is going to put us in problems as a country. He must begin to accept when he has done something to provoke a negative reaction in the people. Maybe he'll begin to correct himself. Right now, he's setting up this country for violence through the UPND cadres that now Honorable Kasautu is authorizing to begin to be hooligans. Or because the president failed to accept that the people of Chiwempala are upset about Sincerely Mine. And that's where the whole thing started. He should go and dialogue with them, say, I promise you this, but don't let him make them understand. But to say it's us, the opposition, so that now he has an opportunity to unleash his cadres on us. And you, the police, you're quiet. These are statements you have put people in cells for inciting. And it's like you want, they can pick up Big Joe, abduct him, beat him up, and we forget. Are you sure we'll keep forgetting? Why are you inciting our country for violence? Why are you trying to lead this country into a trajectory of anarchy and chaos? Why? If God be my witness, I am praying day and in and as I said, the UPND, I can see you have tolerance towards anarchy and chaos. In fact, the president going to support the president of Tanzania over that illegitimate election and bloody election. It makes me feel like even him can tolerate a Zambia where there's blood and there's bloodshed and all that, and he still sits as president. So I'm concerned. And I've been praying about it, and I'll continue praying about it until God makes sure we should not have violence in this nation. But my message is to us also who vote. How did President Hakainde Hichilema end up as president? We need to be new in how we vote for leaders. How did Honorable Kasautu end up as a member of parliament? We need to be new in how we select. These are people coming from our communities. We know them. We know them. And I'm consistent. Go in PF right now. Some people won't even talk to me. They're upset with me because I said this one doesn't deserve it because they have messed it on their own. And they can't stand the litmus test of leadership. And so we shouldn't have them there. They're upset with me. And even now, some of them will still be upset with me. But we have to be consistent. What is wrong for the UPND must be wrong for the PF. If I mismanage myself in terms of leadership, it's my problem to remember that the people will respond to that by not voting for me. You say you don't want corruption. It starts by getting leaders with integrity into offices. You say you want to see development in the nation. Development will come with getting leaders with integrity. Some of these MPs, you saw that the problem, but just because Ali Miletel MP, you began campaigning for them. And now, even though some of you even knew the truth, you still followed Ichimwela, you voted for that MP. And today, we have MPs like Voka Saut encouraging violence. Because as an MP, can't be the one saying that I'm opening up violence. Because that's what it means. I'm opening up cadarism. We're bringing back cadarism. What does that mean? Has there been no cadarism? It has been there. So what is he opening up? Violence. How did we get to such a statement? Because the president said, I protected you. So it's like the president has removed his protection. And I'm asking, what do you think will be the outcome of the country? A chaotic country. It will be a dog-eat-dog kind of environment. Because at some point, the opposition will not accept just being clobbered left, right, and center. And secondly, I've said the environment within the UPND find themselves. You can deny it as UPND, bury your head in the sand if you want, but the fact is people don't like you by UPND in general. They don't like you. Because you have personally affected their lives negatively. This load shedding, you think people are happy? Huh? People are happy. 2 hours of power, 1 hour, 30 minutes of power. Do you think people are happy? Being forced to move long distance, just look for a place to charge. Do you think people are happy? Businesses have been closed. Do you think people are happy? And this 100 kwacha and 50 kwacha you have introduced is really a problem. They're too similar. People are going to lose money. I am one of the people, sadly, with my eyesight problem. 50 kwacha and 100% and 100 kwacha, I confuse them. Why would you make notes that are so similar? Why? It's not so painful to be in opposition. In fact, it's just so painful to be a Zambian at this point. Because the people like you, Muchopo, are supporting every nonsense. Do you think when there's violence in this country, you'll be spared from the violence? Or is it because you just think, no, Zambians are so passive? You can keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and they'll never retaliate. Are you sure? Don't take people for granted. Allah, it pains me driving sometimes through 3 different localities, and there is no power. Nakufita. Kwafita tu. Hakubonani nebasikasilisimo. Except for the few people who have solar. Even when the rains are starting, even solar needs ZESCO to operate at full level. Samson, why don't you just close the page? I mean, if you're smart and intelligent, that's what you should have done. But to come here to insult me, you're the one who doesn't make sense. You're not okay. You're not normal. You're not normal. But we have to accept that in our country, we have people like you who are not normal. And we have to deal with you. I just need to get this off my chest. A whole member of parliament is authorizing violence. And the whole Inspector General of Police is quiet. Because the belief is that us as the opposition will just be quietly being killed, being beaten. Nothing will happen. Are you sure? Because even me, I can at least, even if I'm weak, I can't throw punches at guys, but I can pull something and cause serious damage. I can bite. It's so painful. It's so painful to watch how we caught trouble. It's so painful for me to watch how we caught problems. It's so painful for me to see how leaders can actually be okay with supporting wrong things and wrong candidates. It's so painful. But I'll still stand for the truth. I'm consistent in the PF, outside PF, I'm consistent. Let's change. We are saying new next year. Cancel amenities that we cancel our busokoleli kulimbe. Nangwaleta drama bwanji, don't vote. MP wamene muza libe busokoleli. Nangwaleta drama bwanji, don't. Us, even a president wamene alibe usokoleli kulibe kumuvotela nangwaleta drama bwanji. Chinti chinjeko, new mind, new. Political parties, leaders that you can see, they don't have proper leadership. They still need to mature up. They need to catch up so they can learn to have integrity, self-control, and restraint, which are very important for presidency. Let's make sure we don't allow them to ascend. Because when they get there, they'll do worse. They'll do worse. You can't be supporting what is wrong and expect what is right to happen. So for me, no matter how people get angry, I still sleep. Because I know I'm standing on firm ground. If you mismanage your ability to be a leader, you deserve not to become a leader, period. No one even hate. If the people of Chingola, I don't think they hate HH. They're just angry at Son Tonga. They're annoyed. He promised them that unlike the PF, they'll be able to benefit more from Sansele mine. And then they're not benefiting at all. They're angry. They feel cheated. They feel betrayed. They're angry. I'm not saying it was good what they did, but I'm saying they're angry. And the president needs to go and resolve that. And not gaslighting those people and calling them PF cadres or opposition cadres. No. And then now unleashing his cadres on us. And when he says, no, I didn't unleash, Mr. President, when you said, I have been protecting you, Manye Mamboni Delela, what do you think people heard? That's why when you're a president, you must know what you say is critical. You don't speak anyhow. That's why I'm not ready to be a president. I'm not ready to be a president. Because I know there's still that ability to not say certain things that I need to have. Ability to see and understand certain things in a certain way before I can aspire for such. Teddy Mons, how are we? We can't sit and watch us keep doing the wrong things. I was telling some colleagues, but this one you can see that leadership he has betrayed himself and misled himself. Why should we still have him as a candidate? Some of them are upset with me, calling me names. It's fine. But it's still the truth. We can't have a better country if we ignore indiscipline, if we ignore insubordination, because that's what they'll carry there on top, and we'll have a problem as a country. Then we end up with honorable members of parliament like Kasautu, who comes out in a video saying, I hope it's Kasautu because I don't really know the man, but the video I saw, it says it's an honorable member of parliament for Bwengwa, Honorable Kasautu. And that's my God-given husband, giving such dangerous statements, inciting violence. And the IG of police has not done anything about it. He normally swings to action very fast if it's an opposition that makes such a suggestion. He's quiet. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. And I'm not only concerned because, yes, I'm at risk of being beaten. Some of us are ready to die. At least when we die, we'll stop seeing the nonsense. Okay? No, I'm not supporting unruly behavior. And I'll never support unruly behavior. Ask them in the PF, they'll tell you. I don't support unruly behavior. I'm very consistent. We are trying to change our country for the better. And it starts by all of us being patriotic to our country. We should only support candidates that we know. Right now in the PF, my preferred candidate is Honorable Given Luminda. Why? I have looked at everything. Listen to why people maybe don't find him popular or whatever. And I'll tell you, most of them, the reason has been very heartbreaking. It's because he's very straight. But is that a bad thing to be straight in this country? Are we saying being straight is a problem? Doing things the right way is a problem. Yet you want hospitals to have medicines. You need people who not insist on doing things the right way. You're saying you want to end or at least reduce drastically corruption. You need people that know how to make the right decision, no matter what. Okay. It's not a matter of joking. No shalimunga kwaba violence akabamo. Because I tell you, Zambians is charged. The system, the environment in Zambia is charged. No one is going to tolerate UPND cadres going around beating people anyhow. Nobody. And nobody in the opposition is also going to be sitting and crying all the time. There will be a point. You've heard UPND cadres by their own admittance saying, we beat you up when you were in ruling. What more now? We've heard this statement over and over, proving what I've always been saying, that the UPN were equally violent. So now you think, oh, the PF will forget about being violent if they had it. Our president, let's do better. Let's do better. But my personal thing is to pray to God to help us. Because on this one, God just has to intervene. I don't want to be in a chaotic country. May he deal with every leader that is not worth their salt. And may he help us as a people to have a new mind and vote for what is right. And whatever happens, may God help us to remove President HH next year. And above all, I'm praying, may the PF have the ability to stand up and vote just for the right candidate. I'm praying to God to help us because I wish you. Our country is in a hurry to change, and it begins with our actions now. But yo malanda banani kale bakasautu yo. Danger, you're inciting violence. May the police arrest you, and if they don't arrest you, in the next government, you'll be arrested together with the IG for not responding to this serious national security risk. And President Hakainde Hichilema, President Hakainde Hichilema must equally desist from inciting. He's president, for crying out loud. He must learn to take responsibility. You can't say one thing when you're in opposition, then in presidency you start saying the opposite, and you want to act like all of us have amnesia. Can we be serious as a country? Yeah, it's frustrating for me. Because everyone claims they want change, but very few are willing to do what needs to be done to have change. I, for one, have put myself on the line to demand for change. And what that has meant is that even within the PF, I have risen up and said, this, no. We can't allow what we are saying is bad out there in the UPND. We can't allow it in the PF. And it's my prayer that God can really help Zambia to begin a new journey. We are not perfect, please. I don't think the rest of the candidates are perfect in the PF, but I just believe they have shown at least the control that we needed to see. May God help our country. We all deserve better. But President Hakainde Hichilema, the people of Sanseli, the people of Chiwempala, they stoned you because you lied to them that the mines, they will be able to benefit from them, and they feel they are not benefiting. And that's what was going on there. Why are you blaming us? Why have we, the opposition, entered, and now it's like open for violence in the country? Because UPND cadres by Honorable Kasautu are being told Kadarism is now, we are bringing back Kadarism, which we all know that means he's bringing back violence. What kind of leaders do we allow? Let's stop allowing bad leaders. But PF, don't vote for a bad leader. Members have said, ichi kwankwa bachimwena kumampalanya. You mismanage yourself as a potential presidential candidate. Sorry, you have just disqualified yourself. Try after you improve. Next time. For now, we don't hate you. We are just saying we want to protect our country from you. And protect yourself from yourself. Okay. Alola. Kinayo. One Zambia, one nation. Like I say, Zambia needs a father figure next year in 2026. The outgoing president will not be a father figure. We all know that already. And so the president that will be there will need to be a father figure. And I believe we have him in Honorable Given Lubinda. He's steady, he's stable, he's consistent, he's just, he has rule of law in him. He's a man of integrity. If you hear people say, I'm not Tuja, it's because he did not allow them to practice bad cadarism. That's why they're saying that. He is a good leader, and he can be a good father of the nation. So to the PF, I hope my colleagues will go and vote. Let's vote for Given Lubinda. And Zambia, when you have an opportunity, vote for Given Lubinda. That is my prayer. I submit to the nation. Alola, Kinayo.
Oh my goodness.